What's going on, everybody? Look, I'm feeling good about myself right now. I got my shades on. I'm wearing a white short sleeve shirt with polka dots, and I'm feeling good about myself. How you feeling about yourself? Look, one of the things that I really want to talk to you about right now is this. One of my coaching clients recently asked me, they said, "Hey, Coach Stone, how come you seem unbothered by what other people say about you? Like, you don't seem like you care about people hating on you." Not like that many people hate on me, but he was just saying how do you have the confidence to be out here on social media and to be speaking on stages and writing books? Like, don't you care what other people think? And I said, not really. And so we had this conversation, and he said he wants to learn how he can stop caring about what other people say about him so that he can go on and be great. And so that's what I want to talk to you about coming up next in this episode. You're listening to the Grind and Gratitude Show. I am Danny Stone, and I've dedicated my entire life to helping people win. Win in their careers, win in their businesses, and win in their lives. This podcast is going to help you get on your grind and hustle to create the life that you love and walk in gratitude along the journey. Each episode, I'll teach you tools and tactics and bring you conversations with experts that will help you turn your passion into a thriving online business. Life isn't about wishing for something greater. It's about making it happen. There's something special about you. Grind until you find it. Be grateful when you get it. All right, welcome to the Grind and Gratitude Show. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much. If you're an avid listener, then you know, I got a lot of love for you. Listen, I'm super excited about this episode because quite a few people have asked me this over the years, and it's something that I've had lots of conversations about. It's something that I've had lots of conversations with myself about, and my mentors and my coaches and my coaching clients and strangers and so many people. And I think this is a really important topic that we're going to talk about here. But before we get into that, let me tell you who I am. I am Danny Stone, also known as Coach Stone, is in the building. I help hero entrepreneurs make more impact, income, and influence by learning how to speak so that they can attract their ideal clients and create the lifestyle they deserve. I know that sounds good, right? But it's true. That's what I help people do. But I want to talk to you about this. So many people are afraid to take action on their goals and their dreams. And a lot of people say it's because of failure. They're afraid to fail. And I think that might be a part of it. But I think even more so than the failure, it's what other people will say about you if you fail. And so I think a lot of us are concerned with other people's opinions. We're afraid of what other people have to say about our goals, our dreams, the way we're living our life, what we choose to say about ourselves. And I don't want you to feel that way. You know, there's a book that's called The Simple Art of Not Giving an F, right? And that really says the simple art of not really caring about what other people have to say. And one of the quotes that I love the most is by my mentor, Les Brown, who says this: "Other people's opinion of you is none of your business." Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. So what does that mean? What he's saying is this: anybody who doesn't believe in you, or who's not for you, or who doesn't want to see you win or succeed, or who is putting out negative energy towards you, their opinions don't matter because you have a bigger mission. You have a bigger purpose. There's more for you to do in this world. And so don't get set back by what other people have to say about you. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Look, let me take these glasses off because I'm serious. This is what I want to talk to you about today. How do we stop caring about what other people have to say about us? Well, I'm going to share a couple of things that I did that really helped me to shift my mindset, because I'm going to be honest, like growing up in low income housing, surrounded by drugs and bullied by drug dealers, like I was so concerned about what other people had to say about me. I was concerned about what I wore, how I spoke, how I carried myself around certain people. And that was as a child. And then I thought, all of this would go away as an adult. And what I had to learn was, as adults, we still care about what other people have to say about us. We still care about their opinions. We still want to be loved and liked by everyone. And the reality is that's not possible. Not everybody is going to love you. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to believe in you. And that's okay. It's better to know that people don't believe in you than to have people that secretly have your back, and then when you need them the most, they're just not there for you. So I want to talk about some of the things that I did to really break that mindset of caring so much about what other people had to say. And I cared a lot. I was afraid to take action on my goals and my dreams because I was so concerned about what other people had to say. I had big dreams for myself, and I just didn't take action because I thought, well, what if my friends say this? What if my family says this? What if my girlfriend at the time said she disagreed? What if people in my community didn't really believe I could do it? What if my coworkers found out that I tried to do this and it didn't work and I failed? I was so concerned about what other people had to say. And what I had to learn was, if I wanted to become a heightened version of myself, if I wanted to really step into my potential, if I wanted to make a greater impact in the world, then I had to pull back from caring about what other people had to say about me. And look, I'm not saying that I have this mastered, because there are times when I care about what other people have to say. There are times when I might post something on social media and people disagree, and I think about taking it down. And I'm like, I really should take that down. And then I don't. And then I just let it go. And then I end up seeing so many other people that agree with me. Or even if they don't, it's okay. It's my opinion. So here are some of the things that I did and I'm still doing to really stop being so concerned with what other people are saying and living my purpose and my mission. So the first thing that I did to really get honed in on me and stop worrying about the outside factors and haters and all these other things was I got focused on what my mission and my purpose is in my life. I really started honing in on, what am I here for? How can I use my gifts and my talents to serve other people in a way that lifts them up? And it took me many, many years to kind of get to this point, but I was constantly searching for it. I used to do a lot of youth work back in the day, and I still do. Work with a lot of young people, encouraging them to follow their dreams. I work with a lot of adults who are feeling stuck in their lives and didn't know where to go. I work with a lot of business owners to help them take their business and their lives to the next level. And so I was constantly searching for how I can utilize my gifts and my talents to serve other people. And once I started getting more and more clear about that, I started honing in on that and stopped caring more and more about what other people had to say. So this might be helpful for you. Like, what is your gift and your talent? The thing that you do the easiest that is difficult for other people. What is that thing? How can you use that to serve other people, to help other people, to inspire other people? How can you do that? And then once you kind of hone in on that thing, the thing that you really want in your life, the mission that you really have, the purpose that you really have, it's all about getting clarity. Once you have clarity about the things that are important to you, the things that you want, the lifestyle that you want to live, your purpose and your meaning, then you start to filter out all of the noise and you start to focus in on all the things that matter. So the first thing that I really did to stop worrying about what other people had to say about me is I started to find my mission and my purpose. I started to get clear about what I wanted in all areas of my life. And as I began to do that, I started caring less and less about what other people had to say about what I was doing in my life. So this might be something that might be helpful for you. Maybe you have family or friends or coworkers or colleagues that you're around who just have really negative energy. And maybe they have really limiting beliefs and they're always talking about why they can't achieve something and why you shouldn't try this, or that maybe you're going to fail when you try to take action on that goal or that dream. Maybe you're around people like that. The first thing you kind of have to do is like put some distance between you and those people. But then you also have to get clear about what it is that you want. Don't let other people influence what you want in your life. You decide for yourself. And so that's the first thing that I did. I decided what I wanted, and I decided, what is my big mission? What am I here for? How can I use my talents and my gifts to serve other people? So that's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I did was I started taking action on my dreams. I started waking up, dreaming about the things that I wanted, taking action on the things that I wanted, having conversations, learning, reading books, finding mentors, hiring coaches, joining communities of the things that I wanted in my life. And once I started doing that, and I was getting around people who were like-minded individuals, and once I started mapping out one thing that I could do every day to make me a better speaker, to make me a better communicator, to reach more people and inspire them to find that inner champion. Once I started doing that every day, I never had time to be concerned about what other people had to say. I don't have time to worry about all of the negative comments on social media. I don't have time to worry about people gossiping about me. Not that they are, maybe they are. I'm sure they are, but I'm not concerned about that. And I don't have time to focus on it because I'm focused on where I'm going and what I'm trying to create. And every day I'm taking action on the things that matter in my life so that I can create the lifestyle that I want, serve the people that I want, and I can create more impact, income, and influence in my life. So that's what I'm doing. And once I started doing that, I realized that I didn't have that time to sit around and gossip with people and to sit around and have the pity parties about not being where we wanted to be in our lives, because I had to take action. I was out there taking action. And when you're taking action, you don't have time to look around and say, oh, so-and-so is talking about me, or this is what they have, and I should be at this level and I'm not, or listening to people who are really trying to be negative towards you and trying to talk you out of your dreams. You don't have time for that, because when you're taking action every day, you're in the trenches, you're doing the work. But here's the other thing. When you're doing the work, you start to see the progress. So even if you don't believe your dream is possible, even if you're not clear on what your real mission is or your purpose, when you wake up every day and you're searching for that and you're taking action, progress equals belief. The more progress you make in your life on the things that really matter, the more that you believe you can achieve them. And once you start to believe that you can achieve something, that's when you start to level up, because now you have to become somebody different to achieve something that you've never had. And I'm dropping bars. I should be a rapper out here. But it's true. It's true. So that's the second thing that I did. I just started making a plan and taking action every day on the things that I wanted. And then all of a sudden my life started to shift. I started to be more confident in who I was. I started to see the impact that I was making, because people were coming back to me saying, hey, Danny, I read your social media post, or I saw you speaking on stage, or I read your book, or I'm listening to your podcast, all of these things. And I started to realize the impact that I was making just by showing up and being me and sharing what I was learning and who I was becoming with other people. So that's the second thing that I did, to stop caring about what other people had to say. The third thing that I did was I stayed focused on the mission. See, a lot of us get started on things and then we start to kind of lose track and fall off, and then we never come back again. Look, I do that. I still do that with some things. But what I realize is that if it's something that I really want, if it's a goal or a dream that I really have, that I have to get back on track and I have to stay focused. And I recently did that. Like I'm back on my eating habits again. I fell off for a while, and now I'm pre-planning my meals, and I'm doing food preparation. I'm preparing my food for the whole entire week in one day. And it's really making a difference. I'm exercising now. I'm taking more time outs to pause and to let go of just things that just really don't matter, and to find time in my life every day for me. And so I'm staying focused. I'm staying focused on what I'm trying to create in my life. I'm staying focused on my mission to serve other people. I'm staying focused on the things and the people that matter. And I'm filtering out everything that doesn't matter. So when you start to do that, for me anyway, I start caring less and less about what other people have to say. Other people's opinions of me don't matter if they're not trying to see me win. And it's hard. Like, I'm not saying any of this is easy. I'm not saying that. There's still days where, somebody may say something and I say to myself, like, man, maybe they're right. Or I might get a comment on social media that's negative. But then I kind of snap out of it because I realize that my mission is bigger than other people's opinions. Like, when your mission and your purpose is bigger than other people's opinions and you're focused, you're not really concerned with all of the noise. You're not concerned with the negativity. You're not concerned with the haters because you got work to do. You're putting in work. So you just don't have time. So the third thing that I really started doing was getting focused, not just putting in the time, not just staying busy, but being intentional about how I was spending my time and who I was spending my time with. And when you're intentional about how you spend your time and who you spend your time with, you're going to notice a big shift in your life. You're going to notice, like, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more empowered, more positive. You're going to get closer to tapping into that inner champion, right? Because you're moving with intention. You're not just waking up and rushing to work or rushing to start your day or to rushing to jump into your business. You're starting your day intentionally. You're being intentional about the actions that you take, about the posts that you make on social media, about the conversations that you have, about the people that you're around, about how you spend your time, about how you spend your money, how you invest in yourself, the time that you spend with your family and your friends. You are intentional about all of these things. So that's the third thing that I really started to do. I started to get focused. I started to get intentional about how I'm spending my time and just really lock in on the things that mattered. And I remember, like, that's how I ended up leaving my corporate job. I just felt stuck in my job. I used to do corporate training and coaching, and I remember working for these big organizations, and I just remember looking around and just feeling stuck. I'm like, this is all the money that I'm making for all the work that I'm putting in. I'm seeing people get promoted above me, and I just could never get promoted. I'm seeing people putting in 10 and 12 and 14 hours every day for a company that's not theirs. And then they would get burnt out and take sick leave and stress leave. And I thought to myself, look, I can't do this. I'm not trying to be one of these people. I'm not trying to be someone who puts in so much effort for somebody else and gets paid a little bit of what I'm worth, and then be stressed out because of all the time and the hours that I'm putting in for someone else. But I was feeling stuck and I didn't really know how to move forward. I just knew that I didn't want to be there, but I didn't know how to get out. And so what I had to do was step back and say, like, what do I really want in my life? Like, did I want to jump from that job to another job? Or did I want to jump from that job to my own business? Like, I had to really step back and think about what I really wanted at that time. And at that time, I realized I wanted to be my own boss. And I wanted to be my own boss because I knew that there was something inside of me that was pulling me towards making a greater impact. And I knew I couldn't do that sitting behind a desk in someone else's company. So I quit my job. I wrote a book, and that started my whole coaching and speaking and just consulting career. But what I had to do in order to quit my job was I had to make a plan. First, I had to get clear about what I wanted. I had to make a plan and take action every day. And I had to stay focused because there were so many distractions. And then the fourth thing that I had to do was I had to lock in on who I was becoming. I couldn't let anybody else define me or define what I should be doing. There's always going to be people who try to tell you what you should be doing, how you should be living, the actions you should be taking, how you should think. There's always going to be people who are going to say these things to you. But you got to lock in on yourself. You got to lock in on the greatness inside of you. You have a champion inside of you. There's something special about you. And I've heard people say this before. There's nothing special about me. I'm just normal. I'm regular. I've heard other people say this too. None of us are special. I've heard people say that. And the reason I don't agree with that is for this one single factor. You were born for a reason. You're born for a reason. And if you're born for a reason, that makes you special. And the second thing that really makes you special and that makes you unique is something that we all know and we all have, our fingerprint. Of 7 billion plus people in the world, not one person has the same fingerprint as you. Twins don't have the same fingerprints. Triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets. That's all I know. I can't go higher than that. None of them have the same fingerprint. So how is that possible? If we're all not unique and special, how come triplets don't have the same fingerprint? The reason why is because every single one of us is special. Every single one of us is unique. Every single one of us has the potential to do so much more in our lives. But one of the biggest problems is we're concerned about failing because of what other people will say, or we let other people talk us out of our hopes and our dreams. And I'm here to say, look, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. It doesn't matter what they say. And another thing that we have to understand is this. Sometimes when people don't believe in us, we think that they're hating on us. We think that they don't want to see us win. And sometimes that is the case. But sometimes it's just the fact that they can't see success for themselves. So how can they see it for you? Think about that. If your brother or sister or your spouse or your parents or your cousins or your aunts or uncles or your friends or your coworkers or your colleagues or other people that you know in the world, if they can't see a better life for themselves, if they can't see themselves becoming a heightened version of themselves, if they can't see themselves achieving a big goal or a dream, if they can't believe it for themselves, how are they going to believe it for you? So we have to understand that sometimes people just aren't at the point where they can believe in you because they can't believe in themselves. And that's okay. But what you have to understand is you got to lock in on who you are becoming. When you set out on a mission, when you set out to achieve a big goal or a big dream, or you set out to live a certain lifestyle or to find more joy, you have to understand it's scary to people because one, they can't see it for themselves. So it's easier for them to tell you why it's not going to work than it is for them to actually take action. And two, how can someone believe in you when they don't believe in themselves? So I had to understand all of this. And once I started understanding this, when people were hating on me or when people were doubting me, I understood what I was doing was scaring them because I was actually taking action on something that I wanted, and they were still kind of in place and they weren't taking action on the things that they wanted. And so it was easier for them to hate on me or to discourage me than it was for them to take action. So I started to realize that. And the other thing that I realized is that sometimes when you decide that you're going to break out of the mold and you're going to do something different and become someone different, it scares people close to you because they know that the relationship is going to change. Now, it doesn't always mean it's going to change for the worse, but in a lot of their minds, it's like if you go on to better yourself, like if none of your friends went to university and you decide to go to university and they're hating on you for going to university, they're afraid that your relationship is going to change because you're going away to better yourself, and maybe they're not. Or if you decide that you're no longer going to work that 9-to-9 job and you're going to start your own business, some people might try to discourage you because they feel that relationship is going to change, or they feel like you're doing something that they're not brave enough to do. So we have to understand that sometimes and oftentimes when people are hating on us or trying to put limiting beliefs on us, they're coming from a place usually of their own pain, their own feeling stuck, their own inability or desire to take action on the things they need to take action on to better themselves. So that's why you have to lock in on yourself. You got to focus on you. Spend time understanding yourself. Spend time locking in on who you are becoming and what you want. And you'll start to filter out all the noise and get focused on the things that really matter. Does that make sense? Are you with me? Are you getting what I'm saying? These are all the things that I'm constantly working on to better myself, to step into my greatness, to live my champion lifestyle. And the fifth thing that I had to do and that I'm currently doing is that I stopped putting faith in other people. I stopped putting faith in other people. See, one of my biggest mistakes in life is believing that people would always be there for me like I was for them. I thought that if I was a great friend or a great relative or a great partner or a great coworker or a great boss, that people would reciprocate that and they would be the same for me. And what I had to realize is, nah, bruh, that's not how it is. I had to realize that that's not the case. And I had to stop putting my faith in other people because of some of the same things I've already talked to you about. You know, sometimes people can't believe in themselves. They don't have the confidence in themselves, or they're not in a place to support you because of what's going on with them. Or maybe they don't want to support you because they're secretly hating on you because it seems like you're doing better than them. There's so many other reasons why people that you expect to support you and to encourage you and to be there for you aren't. So I stopped putting my faith in other people. And I started putting it in me. And I started putting my faith in my Creator. Now, I'm not trying to encourage anybody in any way, but I believe in God. And so for me, I put my faith in God. There were times in my life where I never thought I was going to make it through. I've been in some really tough situations and, some life-threatening situations. And I had to call on my faith. And I've been in some really tough financial situations. I've been in some really tough personal situations, and I couldn't depend on some people to help me get through it. And it's okay. Look, I'm not bitter about it, but it was a realization and a wake up for me is like, I have to depend on myself and I have to tap into my faith in my Creator, that I can figure out a way to get through whatever I'm getting through. So I stopped putting faith in other people. If people choose to show up for me when I need them, if they choose to be happy for me, I'm cool with that. If they don't, it's okay. Because I'm focused on me. I stopped putting my faith in other people. I put my faith in myself. I put my faith in my Creator. And something amazing happens when you don't have any expectations of other people. When you don't have expectations of other people, they can't let you down. And when they do show up for you, it's a bonus, right? Sometimes we're just too dependent on other people. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have meaningful relationships. I'm not saying that, you can't do things for people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want people to do things for you. I'm saying that you shouldn't expect people to do things for you, because everybody is an individual and they're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So I started putting faith in me, in my creator. And when I started doing that, it just lifted this kind of cloud that I had over me, because I used to show up for people a lot and they just wouldn't show up for me, some of them. And I was like, I couldn't understand it. I was like, man, I was there for you during this difficult time and this difficult time, and now I need you, or I just want you to encourage me, or I just want you to support me, or I just want you to send out a tweet or a repost of my book or something that I'm doing. And I just never got it. And with some people, I still don't get it. And it's okay, because I have no expectations of other people. And so when I start looking at my life through the lenses that I'm talking to you about, I care less and less about what other people have to say about my life and what I'm doing. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be cocky or conceited. I'm just somebody who's confident that I am here for a reason. I'm confident that I have a champion inside of me. I'm confident that I have the ability to inspire people to take action. So all the people who don't believe in that mission, for me, why should I care about what they have to say? So I'm constantly working on these things. I'm not perfect. I have days where, I focus on why isn't so-and-so really supporting me, or why doesn't this person believe in me, or that was a bad comment in my social media. But then, I get back on track with my mission. I take daily action. I stay focused on the things that matter. I look at who I'm trying to become, and then I don't put my faith in other people. So those are the 5 things that I have done and I'm continuing to do to stop caring about what other people have to say about me. And I hope some of these were helpful for you. I hope that you really listen to this episode and you step back and you watch it again and you just make some notes and you think about your own life. Think about what's stopping you from taking action on creating the lifestyle that you want, on starting that business, on traveling to that country, on asking for a promotion in your job, on seeking out a loving relationship, on doing the things that you really want to do. Think about the things that are holding you back. And I'm sure maybe a lot of it circles back to you being afraid to fail because of what other people will say. Or maybe it's other people in your ear with negative chatter. So I want you to go through this. I want you to listen to it. I want you to just think about all of the things that we're talking about here today and start to make some changes. Start to make some changes and stop being so concerned about what other people have to say, because you have a champion inside of you. There's something special about you. You got to tap into that and live it out loud. So I'm so excited that you were here for this episode. Thank you so much for being my co-host. Again, make sure that you subscribe to the Grind and Gratitude Show. Please leave a review. That will help me a lot. And please share the podcast with people if you really enjoyed this episode. That's it for this episode of the Grind and Gratitude Show. I am Coach Stone. I'm out. I will catch you in the next episode. Take care. Thanks so much for being my co-host on this episode of the Grind and Gratitude Show. I really appreciate you. I hope that you learned something and you're motivated to take action and get on your grind. Didn't that go by fast? If you want more, head over to grindandgratitude.com for show notes and more information about this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please go to iTunes and subscribe and leave a rating so more people will tune in. And let me say this, there's something special about you. Grind until you find it. Be grateful when you get it.